Hello, fitness friends. My name is Natasha. Welcome to All Core. It is 8 rounds of drills, 7 exercises. One has a right-left side component. We'll be working for 2 full minutes. That will be very challenging. For some of the exercises, you won't be able to work for 2 minutes straight. Take as many breaks as you want, modify, all of that. And then some of the exercises, 2 minutes is going to go by pretty fast and won't be as challenging. Listen to your body. It's not a competition. Maybe you take this again another time and you try to work for longer or quicker, but let's have fun with it. Your core will be burning. We also definitely get some shoulders in there, upper body strength too. If you have sensitive wrists, take more breaks and maybe work more on the forearms. Let's get started. Meet me in a forward fold. We'll stretch out the hamstrings a bit, take a couple breaths, and get into the time drills. And take some stretches for the hamstrings and move through some cat-cow for the spine. Soften the knees and melt forward. Let your head fall heavy and then round up through a nice stacked spine. You can bend the knees, lift your heart. Exhale, tuck the chin, round and fold. Wake up those hamstrings. No judgment on where you are, even if you can't fold very deep. Round it up. Gaze is up. And curl the spine and forward fold. You can bend the knees, kind of pedal, come on up. You can shake out those wrists, bend the knees, maybe circle wrists and ankles. Take a little bit of a neck stretch, one ear to one shoulder, rolling softly. Anything you need to do here just to prep. We can take a gentle spinal twist from side to side, linger, or just kind of floating back and forth. All right, we will have 19 seconds to meet me at the top of your mat for a Pilates roll into a glute bridge. The moves are very simple today, so not a lot of thinking, just moving and activation. All right. Meet me in that fold. You might want to start with some bent knees and this little turtle shell. 2 minutes on, 30 seconds rest. Here we go. Lengthen your spine. Round down one vertebra at a time. Your shoulders and head are going to land. You can stack your palms over the head, then bend your knees and curl your hips. Lift into a low glute bridge. Squeezing your butt and your hamstrings and roll down. Take your feet a little further ahead, tuck your chin, round off the vertebra, and fold into your turtle shell, or you could have straight legs, forward fold, a little bit more challenging. Lengthen, round your way down. Tuck your tailbone, each part of the spine land, head and hands stack. You can walk your feet in, tuck your pelvis, and glute bridge up. Roll down one vertebra at a time, walk your feet forward, tuck your chin, arms reach, and we try to lift without momentum unless you need it. Fold. Stack it right back up. And then find your own pacing, work with your breath. Walk your feet closer for the glute bridge, lower down. Walk your feet further for your ab roll. Squeeze it up. You can linger in your forward fold if you need a break. Otherwise, keep working for those 2 minutes. Cinch your belly up at the top. Exhale. Roll down. Feet out. Tuck your chin. Squeeze. Okay, 30 seconds rest. We're gonna move into locust, back strength, and a forearm plank. Now, because that is only 2 moves, we can add some fun movement to the locust and to the forearm plank, all optional. Meet me on your belly. You can slide your hands, palms up, chin taps down. Lift upper and lower back, squeeze. Then sweep your elbows under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and zip up through the belly. Lower down, and you can stretch in Sphinx. Arms back, upper and lower back, Locust. Elbows and toes down, zip up to forearm plank. It can be as simple as that the whole 2 minutes. Or you could add some fluttering in your Superman with your arms over. And you can add any movement to forearm plank. Saw, maybe forward and back, or side to side, rainbow hips, or zigzag hips. You can rest in Sphinx as long as you need. Maybe a cobra roll to stretch out the front body. Lots of options. Listen to your body. Rest. Maybe sit back in a child's pose. The next one is a plank up dog to plank tuck. You are welcome to go into downward facing dog for a little reset and rest, and then into your up dog plank tucks. And you could alternate right, left, right. All right, move through some cat-cow. And then meet me in plank. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, zip. All right, we have up dog. You're gonna take your time and swing your heart forward, your hips low, right knee tucks into nose. Up dog on toes. Left knee tucks into nose. Here's where you can do a downward facing dog, little reset, or you could just keep going up dog plank tucks, which will be pretty hard to maintain for 2 minutes. Back to plank, up dog swing. Now left knee crunch. Up dog swing. Right knee crunch. Plank, downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank and then swing those hips through up dog. Right knee crunch, zip up dog. Left knee crunch, plank, downward facing dog. Here's where you can just reset, pedal, connect to the breath. And whenever you're ready, go back in. Rounding plank, up dog. Right knee, up dog. Left knee, up dog. Rest and down dog. Back to your plank. Up dog. Left knee, up dog, right knee, plank, down dog, stretch, pedal, sway, connect to the breath. You can always come out of it as well in a little child's pose if you need to counter stretch the wrists. We are going to be on the hands on the next one, next two, so definitely listen to your body there. Maybe you get one more in. All right, relax. All right, so we're gonna do, just to not be on the hands the whole time in our side plank series, We'll do it on the forearm to start, and then you have the option to come up to plank. So we're gonna stay on the right forearm the first minute, second minute, go up to the hands. You have a hip dip, top knee, and bottom toe tap. Stagger your legs, lift up into side plank. All right, we're on dip and lift. Top knee to elbow, bottom knee to elbow. Hip dip, and you could rest it down and then squeeze it up. Tap, tap. Remember, you could take as long as you need when you slouch down, then zip it back up when you're ready. Tap, tap. These are gonna get very challenging. Slouch, squeeze it up, cinch up through that waistline. Top knee, bottom knee, and slouch. Zip it up. Top knee, you can also skip if you just want to lift into a forearm plank and skip the knees if that's too much. All right, taking it onto the hand. Maybe your fingers are kind of diagonal or sideways. We're gonna try this in a lifted plank, side plank. Hips dip, squeeze it up. Now your option here is a top elbow knee and a bottom toe tap forward or grab. Then slide that foot back and rest. You can even sink into that shoulder and then push it down, lift the hips. Top elbow to knee, bottom toe tap or grab. Rest it down. Oh, can we get one more in? Lift those hips, a lot of shoulder strength. Top elbow, bottom toe tap or grab, and rest it down. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and make sure we have time to rest on this one. You could still be in the 2 minutes, or you can take some extra time to relax that right shoulder. Now switching sides, remember the first minute we'll go on the forearm. You can rest in that side laying position as long as you like. Shake out those wrists, shoulders, and when you're ready, bring your left elbow under your left shoulder. We're gonna lift into side plank, stagger the legs. Your bottom leg can be back. Lift. All right, so we have dip, squeeze it up, top knee to elbow, bottom knee to elbow, and rest. Zip it up. Top knee lift, bottom knee lift, and lower. Zip it up. All right, do what works for you. These are pretty challenging. You don't have to be able to do this. You could just try to lift into a side plank. Maybe it's a small lift and lift, or none. You can always be resting. You don't have to work the full 2 minutes, especially in an exercise like this one. All right, so take your time to move it up to your hand. Fingers spread and gripping sideways or diagonal, back up. Bottom leg can be behind dip. Lift, we have top elbow knee, and then maybe just to change it up, swinging toe tap or grab, and then rest at the bottom. Zip up to side plank. You could just do the side plank without the extra leg lifts. That will be challenging enough for some of us. We'll get off the hands for the next one. One more if you can. And then if you need to dip out early, make sure you relax your wrist and your shoulder. Maybe you're still working. Now you're on rest. All right, we're going into boat and bicycle. High-low, and then we'll bicycle for maybe 8. You can decide how many of each. And again, you might not make it through the full 2 minutes, so you can always rest and come back in. Turtle shell, breathing. And then meet me in boat. All right, so your boat pose, you are balancing here, squeezing your core. You can have bent knees or straight legs. We're gonna go high and then curl your tailbone under, low. Hands behind your head, crisscross, maybe 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rock and roll to the top. Trying to balance at the top to reset. Bent knee or straight leg boat. Low boat. Hands behind your head, crisscross. 8, stretch, one leg away, one knee in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale each one. Rock and roll back to your boat. All right, remember we can rest at any point. We don't have to work for 2 minutes straight. High, low boat. Maybe we build up to that. Crisscross. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock and roll up. Here might be a good place to just reset for a breath. And then see if we can get a few more rounds in. High boat, low boat, and your crisscross bicycle. Rock, momentum back and freeze. High, low, and crisscross. Rock, freeze, and turtle shell, or hold your boat and break. Okay, hip release is gonna feel good here. Up and over. We are doing some more in the same positions, low boat, and then we're gonna stack our hips side to side. We'll finish that with L leg switches. If your neck starts to get tired, you could do this leg switches with your head down. Take breaks at any point. You don't have to work for 2 minutes straight, like I said. Here we go, low boat, curl. Now we're gonna try to stack on one side, put your arm out and stack on the other side with the legs lifted, your hips and shoulders, rib cage stacked. Now your L switches in a C curve, or you could do this with the head down or some of each. Maybe 8 again. Good. Maybe in the middle of each set, you just take a moment to tuck and then come back in. So you'll low boat, arm out, hip stack. Low boat, arm out, hip stack. Low boat, L leg switches. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck and drop your head, maybe ear side to side. Whenever you're ready, we'll try to get a couple more sets in. Low boat. Side roll, hip stack. Side roll, hip stack. Low boat, and then leg switches. Bent knee would be an option too. And then a little moment to let that neck surrender back. Let's get one more set in, low boat. Hip stack, one way. Roll other way. L switches. Guess what? One more exercise. Curl it in, rest it back. Ear side to side. Maybe one more low boat. And recover. Okay, exercise 8, or I guess 7, because the side plank one was right side, left side. Okay, our final drill. Down dog split, hovering on forearms, knees, twist. Down dog split, hover, and twist. So obviously we're gonna alternate right to left, and we can take breaks in between. Meet me on the forearms, lift those hips, relax your neck. Stretch your right leg up, dolphin split. Now hover both knees and swivel your knees to the right. Come back to dolphin with your left leg splitting. Hover your knees, twist your knees to the left. That's all it is. Rest at any point. Right leg split. Hover and twist. Hover, left leg split. Hover and twist to the left. All right, and that's your simple drill. You could do this up on the hands. And of course, after your knees swivel, maybe you take a moment to come down and stretch your quads and hip flexors. And then right back in, or maybe you try this in a down dog, so it might be down dog split, beast hover, knees twist, down dog split, knees hover, beast twist. And you can alternate forearms, twist, split, twist. Maybe on the hands. The hands might be a little gentler. On the hip flexors, you're not as in of a tight position, but definitely feeling it. Oblique crunch squeeze. We're there. I gotta know, are you gonna do this a second round? Oh, just in time. Okay, hip flexors and quads on fire. Let's stretch those out. Bring your right leg forward, low lunge. Oh, tuck your back toes behind, reach back, little low lunge reach, or if you can't reach your hand on your foot, press your hand into the small of the back, take a breath or two, and come back. Kneeling, left foot forward, melting hips, tuck your back toes under, stack hips, reach back, gentle back bend, hips forward, heart up, and release. Come on back to both knees. How was that? Side bend. I was gonna make the intervals shorter, but they felt too short, but then sometimes that 2 minutes felt like a lifetime. Side to side stretching, flowy or linger. Bring your hands in your lap, close your eyes. Soften your forehead, eyebrows, jaw, and tongue. Let's take a final breath as one. Inhale, let it out. Thanks for joining me. All core, I hope you feel the burn. Let me know how it went. Thanks for being here as always. Like, share, subscribe, make sure you are subscribed and that you have clicked that thumbs up button, and maybe become a member. You'll get my classes first, and it's much appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye.